I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel, New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. You can grow from almost any fruit. The most common ones are peach, nectarine, apple, and of course you can also grow from lemons and oranges. Some are very similar ways of growing where others are different. So I'm going to go through the main ones with you in this video. Let's begin by looking at peach, how to grow peach from its stone. So you can either produce your own or you can go and buy them from a supermarket before growing. Step 1. Soak your seeds overnight in room temperature water. Place your seeds in a lidded container filled with slightly moist potting medium. Do not make it too wet or you will find it becomes mouldy. Close the container and store in a fridge. Keep seeds away from any apples or other fruits that are in your fridge. And do not allow the seeds to freeze. Check the seeds regularly, beginning about 1 month after starting stratification. If you don't know stratification, I'm going to do a little bit on that in a little bit later in the video. Soon you will see the thick white roots beginning to emerge. Keep the sprouted seeds in the fridge until you are ready to plant them outdoors. It is best to wait until either spring or October to plant the stones. The best time to plant sprouted peach seeds outdoors is about 1 month prior to your last frost date. The easiest stone fruit to grow from a stone is actually nectarines. They can be planted out on their own without others. So if only one becomes viable, then of course this is one reason to try nectarines, particularly if it is your first time of trying to grow from a stoned fruit. let's talk about situations and problems. If a tree doesn't produce fruit, you need to hand pollinate it. But if there's still no results, then this is due to how that fruit from where you got the pip or stone was first bred. So if you're growing from a stone and your tree doesn't produce fruit, you now know why. Fruit trees are sold from nurseries, and these ones are often grafted onto a rootstock to ensure they grow to produce good, healthy fruit. And this is done because fruit from a tree grown from a stone does not always breed true, and it could also be prone to disease. So you cannot be guaranteed that the tree will produce the same fruit as the stone or pip that fruit came from. If it does not produce fruit, you should see the fruit in about 3 to 4 years' time. Some people expect the fruit straight away. And note, it's best not to ever eat or use the first year's fruit. You often can find it is bitter. To grow nectarines from the stone. First of all, remove any flesh and check that the stone is viable. How do you know if it is viable? Well, to do this, place the stones in water and see if they float or not. If they don't float, they are viable. But this does not mean to say that otherwise they are still viable, but it gives a higher percent chance of that. I said I would talk about stratify or stratification, and this means when you put the stone or the pip into moist soil 2 to 3 centimetres below the soil in small containers. If you're a frugal gardener, this would be something such as the bottoms of plastic bottles. Now make sure they are small individual drink bottles rather than family size ones. The smaller the better. Then the placing of it in a fridge for the next few months, and this is where they start to grow their roots in the fridge. So this is what stratification or to stratify seeds means. Once out of the fridge, the upper shoot will grow, not before. and this will take about a couple of weeks once they feel the warmth. So of course this is reproducing the same method as in natural nature. So like in nature, a fruit would drop on the ground from a tree. Leaves and moisture will cover it up, so it mulches it on the ground with the moisture from the dew or the rain. And then spring comes and warmth comes, and then the seeds sprout or shoot up naturally. So this is the same as stratification. You put the stone of the fruit that would have obviously deteriorated naturally in the soil. Leaves and moisture cover it. So this is why we cover over the top of the seed or the stone. Spring and warmth come once the roots have started. So that is when we take it out of the fridge into sudden warmth like spring. And then the seeds sprout and shoot up from the ground, and this is why you will not see the shoots forming until you have taken it out of the fridge. Check your stones every month or two. About 70% to 80% should be successful of roots forming. So do quite a few stones at once if possible, and then you have a very successful show. Ones that don't take so well may be used as graftings, although I feel it's always better to use your best strong plants when grafting. Different method for growing things such as dates. Soak these for about a week in water, changing the water every day or so. If you still see any flesh left on them after this, peel it off, as this will cause them to decay and will pollute the water. After a week, date stones will swell. This is because they have begun to absorb water as a preliminary stage of germination. Put the stones on a folded piece of kitchen towel or kitchen paper. Then insert them flat without disturbing them into a plastic bag with a zip seal. Close and place in a warm place such as an airing cupboard, which needs to be about 27 to 32 degrees C. Check that it remains sealed, as it will show by having condensation on the bag. In about a week, the root will emerge. Plant out when about 1 inch, which is 2.5 centimetres, absolute minimum size, because if left longer you will also see the sprout appear, and if left until then to plant out, they will actually grow quicker and stronger. So yes, it is totally possible to grow fruit from your supermarket and make your own trees. Of course, if certain fruits are not available in your country, do as I do, buy some fruit trees in. You will produce your own fruit for a small cost and then use these fruits to continue growing more and more fruits and create your own fruit forest. And this is my food fruit forest. Let me know what you're growing. Are you growing fruits? Our latest tree we have is a loganberry, which you can see in my videos, and I will link below a video, a tour of all my fruit trees. Good luck with your garden, and until next time, Meraki.